Hey, I'm Lashana Guy, and this is Good News Only, the show where we celebrate the stories that uplift, inspire, and bring us all together. Every weekday at 10:30 a.m., we are recapping the good news only, the feel-good headlines, the community and local wins that bring a little more light to your day. And I want to hear from you too. So if something good is happening in your world, a personal victory, a community success, a birthday, or just something that made you smile, send me an email to news25 at week.com. And remember to put Hey Shauna, that's SHAUNA, in the subject line so I know it's for me. I would love to share your good news right here on the show. Today's show, as always, is full of good news. For starters, we are still talking about Memorial Day. So there are lots of things that happened around Central Illinois to observe the day, to remember those who served the country. And so I want to make sure I get around to telling you about all of them. So there was a Memorial Day program in Peoria over the Memorial holiday. So, or I hate to call it a holiday, but it is a day of remembrance for all of those who served. So they were honoring sacrifice on the riverfront and reflecting on the meaning behind Memorial Day across Central Illinois. The annual Memorial Day program, hosted by the Peoria Memorial Association, brought the community together in downtown Peoria. The ceremony featured performances by the Peoria Municipal Band, along with conversations, art, and music from local veterans. Guest speaker John Morris reflected on a recent visit to Independence Hall in Philadelphia and connected Americans finding documents to the sacrifices of military service members. Morris noted that more than 41 million Americans have served since 1775, emphasizing that freedom depends on those willing to defend it. The Peoria Riverfront Museum is also showcasing exhibits tied to America's upcoming 250th birthday celebration. Those exhibits include historic American documents and artifacts now on display for the public. And in Pekin, remembrance ceremonies focused on honoring the true meaning of Memorial Day. Veterans, families, and community members gathered Monday morning at the Pekin Riverfront for the city's annual Memorial Day observance. So flags were raised in honor of fallen service members who defended the nation's freedoms. Flowers were placed into the Illinois River to remember military personnel lost at sea. I love that idea. Veterans reminded attendees that Memorial Day is about much more than cookouts and summer celebrations. One Vietnam veteran encouraged people to celebrate responsibly while honoring the sacrifices made by service members. Speakers also stressed the importance of recognizing and supporting veterans who are still living today. And in Glen Oak Park in Peoria, Vietnam veterans received special recognition during a moving ceremony at the park. The Southwest Kiwanis Club hosted the Vietnam Remembrance event near Peoria Zoo at Glen Oak Park. Vietnam veteran Christopher Duncan shared his experience during serving overseas and spoke about being wounded 3 separate times during war. Can you imagine that? The ceremony paid tribute to the more than 58,000 Americans killed during the Vietnam War. Organizers highlighted the sacrifices made by Army personnel, which accounted for more than 38,000 deaths. Community members gathered to honor veterans and reflect on the lasting impact of military service. The ceremony also served as a reminder of the importance of preserving veteran stories for future generations. We'll have more good news only after the break. Welcome back to more Good News Only. So, in Northwest Illinois, aerial combat memorial services took place as well, and I didn't want to forget about sharing that with you. So, it's a new memorial in northern Illinois, and it's now standing as a permanent tribute to generations of military service. After nearly 8 years of work, the Northwest Illinois Aerial Combat Memorial was officially dedicated in Lena, Illinois. The centerpiece of the memorial is a retired F 4 military jet that arrived in Lena back in 2019. Organizers secured one of the final retired F 4 aircraft previously used for military training. Air Force veteran Leroy Jensen attended the dedication and shared his connection to the aircraft after supporting F 4 operations in Germany. Jensen also donated memorial bricks honoring two childhood friends who were killed in Vietnam. Veterans at the cemetery, or at the, I'm sorry, at the ceremony, said the hope is that the memorial inspires future generations to understand that freedom comes with responsibility and duty. And more celebrations. I mean, the celebrations and the ceremonies continued around Central Illinois over Memorial Day, and this one blended patriotism with community fun, and it took place in Normal. The Hop on the Road was a celebration of Route 66. It was an event filled with, or filled it was an event filled that was held at a brewery and beer hall called Distill. So that would be Distill Brewery and Beer Hall with classic cars. It had music, food, and lots of family activities. Visitors enjoyed vintage vehicles, face painting, snow cones, and live entertainment during the sold out event. Heart transplant survivor and former firefighter John Rondino shared his emotional journey of surviving multiple heart attacks. Rondino said that the event gave him another opportunity to inspire others facing difficult medical battles. Air Force veteran Kingsbury attended the show alongside his son Tyler Kingsbury, who recently completed his first year serving in the Air Force. Tyler said Memorial Day reminds him how fortunate he is to live in America, and it motivates him to give back through military service. I love the fact that he said he genuinely just loves living in America. And again, that is what, I often wonder. I mean, don't get me wrong, don't shoot the messenger, but I often wonder what inspires people to go to the military, go to armed services, and want to like really do like put their, because they risk a lot, their lives, they risk their family time and the hearts of their family, the time they spend with their family and those connections, and they spend time away from their community. I mean, and that time can be and is often extended. And to hear this young man's explanation and his love for and gratitude for living in this country definitely helped shed light on that. I mean, anything that you are passionate about, you are willing to make sacrifices for. And it just so happens that these people who decide they're going to join armed forces definitely make the ultimate sacrifices. So I'd just like to say thank you to everyone, family and friends of those who have served and are serving. And here is an interesting way, a very special way actually, that a community is showing gratitude for those who have served our country. In New York, volunteers are preserving history one headstone at a time. So, members of the Henrietta Historical Society are restoring grave sites belonging to Revolutionary War veterans near Rochester, New York. Veterans are carefully cleaning, or volunteers are carefully cleaning and buffing historic headstones in a local cemetery. Historians say many of those veterans settled in the area long before roads and the Erie Canal ever existed. Organizers noted many early settlers would have traveled by foot or oxen cart to reach the region. Can you imagine that? Once the Revolutionary War headstones are completed, volunteers plan to begin restoring Civil War veterans' graves. The project aims to preserve local history while honoring those who served the country centuries ago. Watching her clean that with that power washer and scrub those headstones down really looks satisfying. I cannot imagine what it feels like to get that all clean and be able to see the names on there. For me and the way my brain works, I definitely would end up Googling people's names and trying to find out who they were and what their life stories were. And I imagine that you definitely start to feel some sort of responsibility and kinship when you are caring for someone's final resting place. So, thank you to them, and thank you again to all who served. That is really a sweet gesture. And you remember we talked a couple weeks ago about the Girl Scout who was doing this very thing. She went to the gravesite of veterans. It was a cemetery that had been forgotten about, and she did a project, just started a project to receive one of her community service badges. She was a high schooler, I believe, and she was had a whole group of friends that volunteered to help her as well, and they cleaned those graves and they restored them, and they actually created maps to tell loved ones, and on an app actually, to tell loved ones where these people were buried, where their graves were, so they could find them and pay their respects. And she was very proud of it, very, very proud of it. So, congratulations to this woman and great job. Thank you for all that you do. We'll have more good news only after the break.
Hey, fine, happy to see you.
Welcome back to Good News Only. So, there was a wedding ring found after a California fire in Ventura County, and I thought this was the sweetest story to have something so tragic happen. And you see how dedicated these firefighters are to actually looking for this wedding ring. I mean, they have stopped and come back to absolutely search for this ring. So you know that they meant it from the bottom of their hearts. It was a heartbreaking wildfire story in California. Now has a small town, but or has a small, but it has a meaningful, happy ending. Something like a ring compared to all of what was lost in these wildfires can seem very, very small. But again, it is very meaningful, and always there is. It's always warm and welcoming and very much needed when there is a small light at the end of the tunnel. Firefighters in Ventura County recovered a wedding ring from the ashes of a home that was destroyed in the Sandy fire. The home belonged to Randy and Beth Bile, whose property was lost in the wildfire. Crews recovered or discovered the ring while sifting through debris and searching for other personal belongings. Firefighters also discovered several additional sentimental items from the revel. The Bile family expressed gratitude to firefighters for helping recover irreplaceable memories. The Sandy Fire has burned more than 2,000 acres and is now more than 60% contained. Blessings and prayers to them. And now, an emotional support dog named Truly is making a big difference. Truly is a trained emotional support dog at Madison STEAM Academy in Indiana, and she continues making a big impact on students and staff. First grade teacher Kylie Wooduk says that Truly helps comfort students and provides emotional support throughout the school day. Students say Truly enjoys belly rubs, greeting children in the morning, and even checking her own mailbox for treats and letters. The dog participates in reading sessions, recess, and school celebrations, including her own birthday party. School leaders say Truly celebrates or creates a calm atmosphere and helps students feel more connected. Truly has been part of the Madison STEAM family since she was a puppy 5 years ago, and you can tell she is used to it. So before we go to our next commercial today, I just wanted to um, send a little shout out to Mr. Feehan's class at Whittier Elementary School. I hope all of you kids have the best summer ever. Mr. Feehan, I hope you get a much needed break. You are a wonderful teacher, and I know those kids appreciate the time and effort you put into them. And I would like to say hi to Talent McHale, my niece, who is in Mr. Feehan's class and has had a great year. Hi, and it's summertime, girl. Where's Mr. Feehan when you need him? Anyway, happy summer, all you kids out there. We'll have more good news only after break. Welcome back to Good News Only. Well, that's a wrap for me today. Now I want to hear from you. Please go to news25 at WEK.com and let me know what you thought about today's show. Remember to put Hey Shauna, that's SHAUNA, in the subject line so I know it's from me. I would love to share your good news right here on the show. In the meantime, be sure to check out the midday newscast and meet me back here today at 1 o'clock p.m. for more Good News Only. Until then, have a wonderful day. Bye, Talent. Bye, Mr. Feehan's class. Have a good day.